Now, when people come to you and say, "Oh, I hear you've done a wrestling movie," and
Yeah.
they characterize it that way, what do you tell them to convince them that there's more to it?
Just to see it. I think there's a wrestling storyline to this, but it's far from a sports movie. It certainly doesn't. It has elements of that which are really kind of fun and exciting, and in many cases funny. But ultimately, this is a story about family, I think, and specifically a man trying to hold it all together for a family that he cares a lot, that he loves deeply, and the lengths he'll go to protect that. And sometimes, and I think in this case, there's some missteps. And how do we reconcile that when decent people make bad choices?
Mm-hmm.
It's the choices we make, and sometimes when the pressure's on, we do things that are a little bit out of character, and that to me is interesting. And I think what further is interesting is that sometimes as a result of that choice, like in the movie, a lot of good things happen before there's a debt to pay.
Now, when you write a script like this, do you already have themes in mind, or do you have just characters?
There might be general themes, but I have to constantly refine them and revisit them and redefine what they are as the story evolves.
So how did you find Alex Schaefer? And it looks to me like he's got a career in film ahead.
He's certainly off to a good start. This is his first film ever. He's surrounded by some pretty cool and pretty talented actors. And this young man, we hired him because he was a wrestler, and he happens to be a very, very good wrestler. But he also had a quality that was really right for the character of Kyle. And what we didn't know is how much he would connect with that character and how charming he would make that character. And that has been a lot of fun to watch. And I think audiences, as you mentioned, have been really picking up on that and connecting with him.
Yeah, because he's so self-possessed and self-confident in a very quiet way.
Yeah, I think that comes out of being a very good athlete and not having to prove himself anymore as a young man. Like, he's done it. He's a state champion in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you knew that, but he was 36-0 as a sophomore and won the state championship. And there is a sense of a quiet confidence about him and an ease and ultimately a real sweetness about the kid, which is funny for a kid who's a champion in such a brutal, tough sport.
Now, there's a line that he utters in the movie that I'm wondering whether you take to heart in your own life, and maybe it's you talking through the script. He says, "It feels like I'm in control of everything."
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was me trying to break down being a sports nut and watching great athletes and listening to them talk about it sometimes. But don't we always want to ask, like, what does it feel like to be Kobe Bryant, or what does it feel like to be LeBron, or whatever that sport is? What does that feel like? And I think as mere mortals, we want to know that answer. And the kid says that because I think his life is in such disarray in so many ways. He comes from a broken home and there's a lot of trouble, this and that. But when he was on that mat, when he's wrestling, he feels like it's the one place where he does have control.
Is that the way you feel on a film set?
When you have control of a film set, that's a good thing, because they are crazy places. Yeah, I had a great crew on this, and great support, producers and line producers and my AD and that whole crew, and just a terrific New York crew, and so I did feel in control. I felt very lucky.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, you mentioned the dream cast. Paul Giamatti and Amy Ryan,
Right.
Great characters.
Right.
They both really got into it. How did you get them connected to the project?
I just called them both. They're friends.
Yeah.
And I just reached out. They both live in New York, and said, "Hey, I think I have something for you." And they both sort of jumped at it, and I was very fortunate for that. And I think they just both saw something in the script that grabbed them as actors. And with both of them, we've been thinking about working together for a while. And the same is true for Bobby Cannavale and a few of the others. And the timing was just right.
There's some great humorous moments in the film, which really helps you get into it. I think it makes it more accessible.
Yeah, I think it does. I think that's the idea, using humor to kind of open people up and just get them involved and participating in the movie and wrapped up in the story, and then take them where you need to.
Did you encounter any unexpected roadblocks in the filming process?
Yes. In the form of a 2-year-old dervish who played Stella. There were 2 twins. It was my first time working with babies like that, and they were adorably cute and completely unpredictable, as only 2-year-olds can be. And so they constantly held up shooting in every way imaginable. And they were their favorite phrase was "no more movie." They just didn't want to be any part of it.